Hello everybody, I thought I would talk today about remarkable men and how we all attain to be remarkable men and women through doing this work. And Gurdjieff's second book was Meetings with Remarkable Men, where he discusses all the different remarkable men he met through his life that helped him with his teaching and to bring it all together so that he could then pass it on to his fellow students back then and then write the books for us so that we can continue with that kind of work now. So a remarkable man or remarkable woman is someone that seems to, well, let's see what Gurdjieff says. So this is from Meetings with Remarkable Men. He can be called a remarkable man who stands out from those around him by the resourcefulness of his mind and who knows how to be restrained in the manifestations that proceed from his nature, at the same time conducting himself justly and tolerantly towards the weakness of others, which many of us know about people like, say, Jesus Christ or Muhammad maybe, or Buddha, or various heavenly type people that aren't necessarily heavenly, but I'm using that word because they're different to us, because they seem to be more centered in themselves. I believe Krishnamurti might have been one of these types of people. I never met him myself, never met Gurdjieff, never met Christ, never met Muhammad, but they've passed on these teachings to us. I've never met the Buddha, but from what I've read and learned about him, he seems to have been different to the rest of us. So they were able to pass on these teachings to us, this wisdom, this ancient wisdom that's passed on throughout the whole of, well, since mankind began. Um, it's always been there, this underlying truth, this genuine teaching to help us to develop ourselves so that we can become remarkable men and women and work on ourselves. It's a big aim. We have to take lots of little aims to get to that big aim. There are people out there, I'm sure you've met people that seem to be able to be quite tolerant of others and seem to be able to understand how people are reacting towards them and how they act back towards them in a more tolerant, obviously, resourceful way. And it's something that maybe some people are born with. I don't think many. I think we're all perhaps born with it, but then we get affected by it by our, as we grow up, as I've said before, about our peers and how they change us and change our essence and start, maybe not change our essence, but work on our personality, and our personality comes through instead of our essence. And I think these remarkable men obviously somehow brought their essences out in themselves so that they can be like this, so that they can be these tolerant people, these people that seem to have an air about them, a gravitas that we don't have when we're asleep. These are obviously awoken people that have been able to assimilate in them all the energies that I've discussed in past shows, all the teachings that they've learned, and been able to harmonize their mind, body, and spirit, some people would say. Gurdjieff would say the three centers: the intelligence center, the emotional center, the physical center, to reach that higher centers. Once they're aligned, we go up to the higher centers so that we can get from the higher centers will always work with us with truth, with genuine reason, and not deceive us like our lower centers can do. We sometimes get misled by them, by our desires, by our wants and such like, or perhaps our own confusions with things. I know I get these talks that are a bit confusing sometimes as I'm trying to get out what I want to say, but that's because I'm not fully centered and a remarkable person. I'm still working on that, but doing this helps me to try and work on myself, maybe help you. I don't know, it'd be nice if it was, or perhaps lead you to another way of looking at things. And I'll just do another quote here, also from Meetings with Remarkable Men. So I've got a bit of a crazy bit of hair going on today. Wants to stick out. So Gurdjieff here is talking about his father, who's a very important person. Obviously, it's his dad. And in Meetings with Remarkable Men, he talks about how he grew up with his father and how his father helped him become who he is today. The grandeur of my father's calm and the detachment of his inner state in all his external manifestations throughout the misfortunes which befell him, he continued in all the difficult circumstances of his life to retain the soul of a true poet, owing to his inherent capacity for finding inspiration in the beauty of the details of life. My father was for us all, even in the most dismal moments of our family life, a source of courage and infecting us all with his freedom from care. He engendered in us the above mentioned happy impulses. So obviously that's an extract from Meetings with Remarkable Men. Fantastic chapter to read, fantastic book to read to help you with your working on yourself and your studies. So his father seemed to be quite a special person. Maybe his father was a bit more attuned to how the world works and the cosmic maintenance of everything than most everyday people. And we're lucky if we meet people like that in our everyday lives and try and learn from them. Got to make sure they don't have a big ego though that leads us astray or leads them astray. Or hopefully once you're starting working on yourself, you'll be able to see who is the right person to listen to. I've met some egotistic teachers in my time, but they've always got the teaching in them and they had their wise words to put across and have helped me. But as Gurdjieff said, sometimes it's time to walk away. You know, we don't have to stay with the same teacher throughout our lives. We can meet these remarkable men, women, get what we can from them, hopefully give something back to them. But if things do start going a bit dark, horrible way to say it, but or wrong feeling in yourselves that this person's not doing the right thing, maybe there's underlying something going on, you know, that's the time to walk away and say thanks. But you have to look out for these teachers and false gurus. But as I say, many of them have it in them, but maybe it's just, as Gurdjieff would say, crystallized a bit wrongly, but they have an understanding. To find true remarkable men or women, that's something we're all trying to find, and they are out there, and good luck with finding them. And if you do and they want to spread the word of who they are, let me know. I'm just going to go with one more from Meetings with Remarkable Men. Remarkable people who had acquired in themselves data for attracting the conscious attention of others. So these remarkable people, they've worked on themselves and been able to create their magnetic center, which maybe I should do a show on. That magnetic center attracts all kinds of people to them, but that magnetic center is showing that they've become aligned in some way or other of understanding what this ancient wisdom and teaching is, and hopefully they're using it for the good. So, and this is a short one. Just wanted to have a little word about remarkable men and women. They are out there, and they've also been in the past. You can find them. This is why we need our histories, as I've said before, so we can learn from people from the past. And good luck with it all, and speak to you again soon. Stay remarkable.